What's up, everybody, to another episode of the Behind the Struggle podcast. I'm your host, doing the most, the C-E-O, and I'm joined by the one and only Alexia.
That's right, y'all. What's good? It's Alexia. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I am CEO's manager, a.k.a. Slim Zuli, according to him. And today's Behind the Struggle episode is another special interview. We have a guest on the show that I actually went to college with. Everyone, welcome.
Oh, wow.
Frankie the Lucky Dog.
Oh, most definitely. Shit, yeah. You already know. I'm in the building.
Welcome to the show, Frankie. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, most definitely. Alexia and I, we go as back far as September 3rd, 2008, my first day at Marywood. I'm still rocking the same hat as back in September 3rd, 2008. You heard me? That's the way to be with this legacy.
Hey.
Wow, that was really specific. Like, my man had it down to a T.
Frankie's
right.
like that. Yeah.
I don't even remember what I had last Wednesday, so the fact that you remember that's crazy.
Yep, all about putting value in what you love.
Oh.
Take that to the bank, y'all. Take that to the bank, y'all. Y'all heard?
I know. I was about to say, I don't even know what today is, but he took that all the way to the bank. Now I feel dumb.
You got to deposit that. You heard?
Yep.
Okay, so like I said, like we said, we met in college. We were both actually comm arts majors. We did a lot of video editing together, but what's interesting is Frankie is a rapper, so we wanted to put him on the show.
Of course.
And introduce him to you guys, of course.
That's a bet. I really appreciate the opportunity to be on Behind the Struggle, you heard me, because it definitely was a struggle growing up. You know, I may be, living the life at 35 today, but back then, during the college days, dealing with my Asperger's syndrome of autism, just trying to come up and be accepted by people, it wasn't easy. I always had to get it out the mud, you heard me? Because people didn't know back then. They didn't accept, and they just didn't know, especially my first diagnosis, February 12, 2001. I was only 12 years old at the time, and I didn't know what it was. But now, at, this century and everything that we're living in, you heard me? I just feel like I am a superhuman.
Well, Frankie, let me ask you something. When you were diagnosed with that and you said, you had some struggles connected with people, what were some of the struggles that you faced with that?
So some of the struggles that I faced were, like, when I was first diagnosed back in 2001, I was, eating lunch in the guidance office, making certain sounds under the table. People weren't understanding exactly how I was coming. You heard me?
What do you mean by making sounds under the table?
So, like, I would go under the table and make, like, duck noises, like, with my mouth or whatever. I'd be like, I know, like, the
but
audio.
Why?
Yeah, like, because just the way that I guess I like the feeling of the, like, making that noise with your mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said back then a lot of people don't know. I think today still a lot of people don't know. So before you get into that, what exactly is Asperger's autism?
So autism, first off, is a social disability. However, you have a lot of, I guess, value and admiring to, like, things like numbers, numerical type shit. So having Asperger's syndrome, you have, like, a high functioning of, say, being normal or close to normal, but still having a unique way of living life with numbers.
As opposed to what? Someone who has autism without Asperger's?
The number thing is, anybody that doesn't have any kind of autistic feelings or, diagnosis, because on the spectrum, they have autism, Asperger's, so both are on the spectrum that they have, but Asperger's just makes it more like you can, I guess, believe in yourself more, even though people aren't accepting, but you still believe. Because people with autism, they just have a social disability, like kind of like me. Like it's just like an anxiety, socially with people because they don't understand how we coming.
Sorry, there's a lot of information. So, wait,
Yeah.
what exactly is the spectrum of autism? Like, you said social, like anxiety, but there's more severe cases and less severe.
Yeah, it has a range of more and less. I just know for myself the most because I don't have a severe case. I'm able to function and just be able to do what I can do on a bigger scale than the average person right now.
So, what do you mean exactly by that? I mean, obviously, you remember dates and
Yeah.
numbers like no one ever.
Yeah.
But
So when I put value in remembering all those things, you heard me, I feel like it just makes me feel more important about myself because I'm able to blow people's minds with things.
oh, so when you remember these things, it's because you personally have some sort of attachment to that date or that number.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's what helps you remember. And then when you read it back to someone and it impresses them, it
Yeah.
doubles the value for
Yep.
you.
Like at my job that I'm at right now, things are 17
Wow.
digits and I remember them back to back. And people feel mind blown. I connect the numbers with like either birthdays, events, whatever, and that's how I can connect the
Wow.
numbers together. You feel me?
Interesting. So do you do this in your rhymes?
Sometimes I do. It'd have to be definitely pre-thought most of the time because you want to make sure your facts are correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you say your genre is of rap?
So my genre of rap is more like a subgenre. I have my own label, Lucky Dogs Entertainment, and I focus on autistic stoner rap.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
He has his own label,
Yeah,
Frankie the Lucky Dog
yeah,
Entertainment.
yeah. Lucky Dogs Entertainment.
Oh, sorry.
Frankie the Lucky Dog is the promoter, and the rapper is Frank Calhoun.
There you go. That's cool. Like, congratulations on that, first of all.
Yep.
And what would you say? Autistic stoner?
Autistic stoner rap.
What is that?
So autistic stoner rap has various forms of
That's so specific.
various forms of itself depending on how you export the energy or me. So I recently put out an album back on April 20th, 2021, Autistic Stoner Rap Volume 1, A Trip to BR. Now, for those that don't know what BR is, it stands for Baton Rouge in Louisiana.
Oh, that would have been my guess, but I wasn't sure. Okay.
Yeah, so...
Thank you for explaining that to me. I wouldn't have.
Yeah, so breaking down the energy that comes out of Louisiana and Baton Rouge, I have been connected with them since October 11, 2007. And we've really built a connection since, just the way that I would promote artists. So I would listen to their music back during my college days, do plenty of reviews, and just put them on the radio because their energy and just the way that they would, really present themselves inspired me to present myself the way I am today.
So your style is actually more Louisiana rap
Yeah,
style.
it gets a lot of influence from that. So on the volume 1, what I did was I worked with a bunch of producers and then a bunch of artists from Baton Rouge mainly. And so we all connected with the flows and everything. So that's one side of the autistic stoner rap. Then the other side, what I'm trying to progress into is to produce more trippy stuff myself where you want to feel like if you want to be stoned and just feel those sounds beaming into your mind and everything, when you hear the beats and just the way that we can come with a dark trippy vibe at the same time.
I don't mean to sound ignorant or whatever, but does your level of autism, I guess, you hear these a different way already? So you're trying to let a different, a normal audience hear what you're hearing?
Yeah, I believe so because, I have to tell my story the way I have to tell it because nobody can depict exactly the way that I depict it. I depict it 100.00%.
Okay. I like that. I
Well,
think
frankly, I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. What is it about the Louisiana sound that you gravitated towards? Like, what was it about that sound in particular that you liked so much that influenced your sound?
So It even goes back before 2007. I believe July 6, 2005. One of the first Louisiana CDs I bought was Webby with Savage Life. And then the next, edition, Savage Life 2, when I met Alexia, we were, jamming out to that INDEPENDENT. So shout out to them. And, Boosie, like a lot of them come through with their ear for beats and the way that Louisiana inspires the sound of today. So like with me, just being at the College of Lackawanna in Scranton on October 11, 2007, I got to be on a message board and got to see something about a Gangsta Gumbo mixtape. So I was trying to be friends with a Gums, so it sounded like Gumbo at the time during my autistic struggles. So I had used the Louisiana community to help communicate with me because I had nobody to talk to being autistic. So I gravitated more toward their sound, and, their sound just really, the way that they just, between the clubs and the streets, they combine it so well. And,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Where are you from originally?
So me, I'm from Long Island, New York originally, Port Jefferson Station.
Wow. And you found Louisiana music to communicate with you, and that's crazy. Yeah.
Yep.
I like how you explain it too. And honestly, like, I don't think I'm completely ignorant to the rap world. My listeners might disagree, but I feel like I'm learning a lot right now.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, even though we've been connected for all these years, but I never really got to tell too much of the inside of, like, the way that I think or embrace certain things. You hear me? It's just
That's
great.
what we want to hear.
Yeah.
So speaking of, you said volume 1, is that you made a CD?
Yeah.
How many CDs do you have out already?
So that's my only one on digital platforms. I did some 2 rough drafts, back during the college days and my early days of working. But now on the digital platforms, investing quite a bit in the album. I invested about like 30 grand between music videos, promotion, beats, artists, traveling, food, gas, whatever. It adds up.
He probably added it to the penny too, like everything.
I believe it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, not that you spent 30 grand, that you like are so organized and like hyper sensitive to this information.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, quickly maybe going through like how you put a song out. Like, what's your process? What do you do first? What is exactly like going on in your head?
Wait. Before we get into that, Frankie, I want to ask you this kind of like a 2-part question. Number 1 is, what inspired you to get into music, to be a rapper? Like, what was it that made you want to do that? Because you could have chosen anything.
He just told you he couldn't communicate with anyone.
Yeah, because that was also during the times when I started rapping and all that.
Okay, so that's one. Now, the second part of that question is,
What were some of the struggles you faced? Because you've mentioned that you have Asperger's and on the spectrum of autism. What are the struggles that you kind of faced being diagnosed with that and trying to like come up with rhymes like as a rapper?
Well, also, how did you even get diagnosed? But go ahead.
Yeah, so how I got diagnosed first, back in the early days of 2001, I was in middle school, you heard me, and a kid didn't understand me and kept shoving into me, and I felt like I had to figure out what was going on. So that's where they made the diagnose with the way I was acting at the time. And then as far as the rhymes go, the rhymes just trying to just embrace like party music and all that, on Long Island, New York, electronic dance music, rappers, everybody was blending in, and it just made me. So with the rapping, I felt like I just liked the way that they dressed and all that a lot more, and I took that on. So I was just deciding to, come up with my own stuff randomly.
Did you guys catch that? He basically said that he went to find out what was wrong. He was like, something's off in middle school. And he's like, I don't know why I'm different than everyone else. I need to figure this out. That's crazy.
That's a different level of self-awareness as far as with the music and how like you've kind of had your own struggles dealing with that being on the spectrum. To me, I just find that very interesting as a rapper myself, because for myself, I'm inspired because it's a way for me to express myself, kind of get introspective with my own thoughts. But even still, I find I still have like a challenging time, like being able to put certain rhyme schemes together or express certain thoughts or feelings or experiences that I went through. So I was very interested to see like if your experiences as well have ever like made it into your music, like talking about some of those struggles that you face and how you kind of overcome that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I know off the top of my head with one of my tracks, like Big Dope Celebrity. I mention in it, I'm like, North 20 Namath Street. I've been around talking Yo Street gossip will bring your ass down. So the North 20 Namath Street. So there's a lot of number streets in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So I was staying on the blocks of like North 26th Street, and then there's North 25th Street too. So like I've been on multiple streets. So to say 20 Namath, it's like 20 to 29. You could literally just pick all those streets, and I've been around those streets. So, it's the love that I have and have had for Louisiana that gets me to stay in these spots and all that, because not everybody is guaranteed to be welcome. You have to have a purpose.
Well, as an independent artist and someone who owns their own record label, I don't want to talk about, oh, what if you struggle with because we're called behind the struggle. Not at all. But have you ever like had doubts and thought about quitting or hanging it up, like walking away from the music thing?
Sometimes you say it in frustration, you heard me, but at the same time, you never lose the spirit, because I've always felt like ever since, supporting, say, Louisiana, I've done something for them at least once a month, every month since that October 2007, consecutively. And so now, with me doing a commercial every day for my own commercial series that I do, it's like now I do it every day. And so just to have that love and kind of feel like you're in a trap a little bit because you're so used to it. That's what makes you keep going, because you're just like, you have to keep going.
Wait, so you rap, but you're also for hire. So you'll do music videos for other rappers.
Yeah, at times, like, I've done quite a bit of things. I just feel like in today's world, you heard me, with all this different competition of all kinds of videographers and all that. I prefer for myself to just really just stay in my own lane with people. Like, I don't want to get into the whole finance thing with people nowadays, because I feel like money definitely brings the world down. And I'm not about that money.
You heard it right here on Behind the Struggle. I don't mean to return to this, but I'm really curious, actually.
Yeah.
Have you met anyone with like the same kind of autism as you, or does that exist? Does everyone have it differently?
People probably have it slightly differently. You heard me. I probably haven't met somebody exactly alike like me, but I feel like at the same time, some people may be similar, but I just don't think people got it like me.
What do you mean?
Like the numbers, remembering all that shit and all that, like they don't have that. The way that I latch on to things, say Louisiana or whatever, they don't got that. And that's why I don't agree with a lot of people and got to do my own solo thing with, say, exploring, adventures, all that.
So what exactly makes you under the definition of autistic?
What makes me under the definition is, I say, the social anxiety, but also having music play in my head since the spring of 2000, nonstop. We're talking over 2 decades straight right now. And it's like you can't shut it off, but it kind of makes you have a different mood at times, depending on what's going on in your head. And that makes me not want to look a person directly in the eyes,
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like those things aren't that uncommon. I don't know. I think a lot of people have music playing when they're not thinking of anything, or they don't like eye contact, or they feel socially awkward, especially in today's day and age. So
Yeah. With me, like, it's because, autistic people, in my opinion, like myself, we lack relationships or engaging in them. People got to approach us, and then we got to be willing to accept it. And then it's just the fact that, like, you're trying, say, me to establish, say, a spot for living permanently and all that. Like, I hope to go to the South Florida one day. You heard me? So I don't want to get all trapped in, the Northeast.
that still sounds pretty common, though.
Yeah. I just, don't engage much in, say, a relationship until it's the right time and all that. And I just
What
be
kind of relationship?
so, like, say, like, you want to have a close, like, say, a relationship where people get married and things like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, like, I have a lot of small relationships with people, like business ships and friendships, things like that.
So are you saying you've been single your whole life?
Yeah.
Oh.
Being single for that long, I'm curious. Has that ever like been something that you've like wished to like change or like didn't happen?
Yeah, at times, like, I wish, like, it wasn't so stretched out, but at the same time, I just feel like autistic people like myself, I feel like I'm living like a decade behind as far as the way that I slowly develop, in my opinion. Because back during the days of college, I wasn't this communicative. I would try by showing what I got or things like that, so.
Now that you mention it, that is true. You're definitely way more talkative now.
Yep, because now people don't, they may look at me like unique, like, wow, like, why so unique? But at the same time, like, back then it would have just been like, who is this kid? What is his purpose?
So my question right now for you is, how did they even test you for autism? How did they come up with that? Like, is there a chance that there are thousands of people walking around planet Earth today with autism and they just have no idea?
Yeah, I feel like that's true.
Really?
How did you get tested? What was the...
I would just, like I say, going back to that, I just went to the Stony Brook, I guess, was it a hospital? I don't know. I don't remember. Like, I went to some doctor or whatever, and the doctor, had gave me the diagnose, typed up like a 4-page paper, and just, discussed what I would go through at the time.
But how? Just by like observing you, talking to you? What was the test?
Yeah, it was probably, the facts that I was bringing to the table. All the facts that they got from me, how I would react, what I would carry with me, why would I eat in the guidance office? Why would I avoid people?
Oh, so your like daily behavior.
Yeah.
I see.
Yep.
So would you say that yours is severe?
Nuh-uh.
Okay.
Because if I was severe, there would be certain emotions I wouldn't be able to control.
Oh,
Like,
really?
I'd freak out, or certain things, or certain temper tantrums, if you don't get your way. But I
Really?
just stay nice and relaxed, because I keep it 100.00%, and I don't want anybody else, crossing that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So
Frankie,
Go
I
ahead.
have a question because you said if you were like on the extreme end of the spectrum, obviously yours is not as extreme. How would you describe to someone who isn't on the spectrum, like how do you perceive the world? Like how do you view or see things?
When I view the world, I feel like they are not as strong with attention to detail as, say, I would, because especially in today's world, you heard me, you'd be seeing a lot of, say, spelling errors, or even on bigger broadcasts and things like that, I'd be seeing things and I'm like, wait, I ain't get my shine, and I just stay patient with just trying to just make myself feel valuable. So why are all these incorrect values that, require a smart brain getting out there?
that's a good point. Yeah.
Intelligence isn't always intelligent.
Hmm.
I mean, even speaking to what you said earlier, I mean, I got to give you props for that, to kind of have that level of self-awareness that when that guy was messing with you to realize that there was something off with you. Because I'm sure you could agree. I think we live in a society today where we project our own inadequacies or insecurities onto other people. Oh, I'm not the problem, they are. It's not me, it's the world. So I think that's very big of you to be able to look inwardly and to be humble enough to be like, hey, like, is there something up with me because I want to be better? And I wish there were more people in the world like that, because a lot of people are just very content, even like you said about like the details, right? A lot of people, because we live in a society today where everything is so convenient and at your fingertips, details get overlooked because everybody wants everything to be easy and kind of streamlined for them. Where for you, like, you notice these things, and I think that just kind of has something to do with the way that the human civilization has like evolved. Like, we've gotten, in a sense, weaker and lazy as as time has gone on.
True that.
I also don't think those traits that he's complimenting you on, I don't think those are like because you're autistic or exclusive to autism. So I think like your character, he's saying, is it's amazing that you at such a young age were like, something's wrong with me. Let me.
Yeah, because at the time at that age, I definitely had to get it checked out. And now at the current age that I'm at, I realize that I'm on top of my game amongst what I believe in with values and everything. So when people cross me, I can now tell and believe that they got an issue because they don't feel comfortable the way that they feel. You heard me? Because I'm always 100.00%. You feel me?
Oh, interesting.
So, Frankie, I have a question. When you got diagnosed, did they prescribe any medication to you?
At the moment, they didn't. I just, was just soldiering on each day. I never got no, like, Social Security or nothing from it. I just, just came through just autistically without anything. Just had to kind of make a move for myself out the mud.
Do they treat autism with pills?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
That's all I was going to ask. That was going to be my next question. Have you ever had to take any medication or anything?
I'm sure like nowadays doctors are like not lazy, but sort of like scarily ignorant because you're supposed to have a PhD and you're out here diagnosing people with whatever. But I feel like they would be like, well, you need an antidepressant now because you're autistic.
Yeah, exactly. So like that's what I was curious about. Like if they had diagnosed you, after they diagnosed you, if they prescribed any medicine or medication for you to take, because I was wondering.
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
Well, nah. What I was agreeing with you, but like what I was also saying was like I was gonna add that they tried to believe that the mercury inside the shots at the doctor's office, something in that mercury would give you like an autistic trait or something. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like I don't know, like
Mercury, isn't that deadly? Why were they putting that inside of your body?
that's what I was told at the time. So I don't know too.
So they
too
told
much.
you that you weren't born with it. You were given it because of mercury?
Yeah, that could have been like a,
I need to look that up. Yeah, that
yeah.
sounds crazy.
So in your whole 35 years, of living on this earth, you've never had to take or have never taken any medication at all in regards as it pertains to like your diagnosis.
Nuh-uh. It's just been a whole struggle, of just developing slowly but surely.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't think there is like a pill for autism. That would be crazy, but
It would surprise me if there was. I feel like there's a pill for everything because the medical system here in America.
Pills and lies.
Yeah, they don't care about getting you cured. They care about getting you hooked so they can make $1 about you. But thank you for answering that, because I was gonna ask if you were able to tell a difference on how you operated or perceived things like on the medication, off the medication, but you've never taken any medication, so.
Yeah, I could definitely give you like, a synopsis of that in these recent times, you heard me? Because talking about the medication thing and everything, like, I've trying to come up with my autistic stoner rap. I've explored, like, say, the Adderall or the
Self-medicated.
X pills. Yeah, things like that. And it's inspired the music, but it's also inspired stronger energy, to where I feel like if my surroundings are not 100.00% people and all that, I have to cut them off because I need to utilize the most amount of energy. And that's what makes me feel filtered and fully qualified today, unlike, say somebody throwing negative energy at you. You heard me? So, yeah, having to self-medicate, it definitely helps bring out the better in myself.
You said earlier that your specific genre of music, particularly, is like autistic stoner rap,
Yeah.
correct? So, do you feel like does the marijuana do anything for you to help?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because, like when I came up with one of my tracks earlier back in 2021, I'm edibled up. Like, I just wanted to feel a whole THC vibe, and just at the time I was just having like liquid edibles and, them stronger ones back in the days to where it's just like, I'm edibled up. THC is what I need. First degree, that murder weed. Bow, bow, bow. Like you feel the potency.
But was that to help your autism at first, or you did it for the music?
So I actually started doing it as a socializing thing. So a part of it would build the socializing. And then when I started self-medicating more, I started believing more in myself and just really progressing in all my qualities. So it definitely helped.
Helped with both then.
Yep, yep.
It's interesting that you still want to give like music, you want to give to the world.
Yeah, because I feel like I want to create the media today. You hear me? Because a lot of people these days are just brainwashed in the typical same kind of way of coming through. And just a lot of people don't have the energy like I have. You heard me? So for people to hear energy and to hear it on an autistic stoned level and to depict it too, you definitely want to feel your highest of the highs, being able to just depict the traveling, the moments, the reality, and what you love, what makes you as bright and sparkling today. You got to believe in yourself.
That's why you wear that shirt, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Gotta shine with all the great qualities I have.
For those of you listening in and not watching this on the YouTube, Frankie has this like completely, and it's not even bedazzled. It's like its own shine, and it's like bluish, greenish, and it's like mosaic, and it's pretty cool. And it looks soft. It doesn't look like pieces. Yeah.
It's like a walking diamond. Frankie, a question that I have for you as well, though, because as someone who's in the music industry, independent artist myself, there's a lot of shady people on the scene as well that try to take advantage of people when it comes to money, promotion, collaborations, all that stuff. So I'm curious, in your experience, because of your diagnosis, did you find earlier on, or is that still going on, where people tried to take advantage of you and get one over on you because of that?
So it has been more as of, my past years, but my more recent years, like I finally have gotten over it and to take the control over people because I believe more in myself. But back then, that's just all I would deal with people because I would always try to latch onto them with my support, and then they would want to bite me in the ass later on and just try to just win one over me. Like I even got approached by an artist just earlier in the summer, this past summer, and was just like, everything out of his mouth was a way to just try to just get me to spend money for him. And it's just like, no, I'm not with that. You got to have a value, a level of responsibility, and a meaning for me today to believe in you like that. People don't got it.
But that's from you. You used to do that. You've gotten taken advantage of a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. And
so you had artists that came up to you trying to get you to cough up money to pay for them to feature on the song or something?
Oh, yeah, and like pay extra because they tried to manipulate my qualities in the worst way, saying I'd be irresponsible when I'm literally like the most responsible person probably on this planet Earth. You heard me?
Wow, what assholes.
Yeah, it's so deep, and like it's even deeper, say when it becomes, say, violent or really numerical with the quantity of dollars and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, money brings out the ugliness in people, and people do crazy things for it. I mean, I'm happy that you're able to get out of that and be able to stand on your own too and find your control. I mean, me personally, that just bothers me to like see people try to take advantage of people like that, just for $1.
I think too, because like obviously no disrespect, but like Frankie walks into a room and you can tell that he's different. You might not know what it is or even have the decency to talk to him and figure it out or even ask him because he's very open about it, obviously. But like, it's true. He is very different. So I guess a lot of people, I guess in Louisiana, just love taking advantage of you because they see weakness.
Yeah, yeah, there's a way of weakness, and when you describe the weakness to other people too, then they manipulate that weakness, and use it against you.
But this entire time you've been talking about like autism as a strength. So why are you saying now that it's a weakness?
So the weakness part of it is it's always on a communication basis because, you know, when you're brought up to trust and to just believe so much, but you can't believe it all because people, they're not the same, when they're in front of you or when they're not in front of you. So they use their own tactics. And I've seen this with people working with certain artists that I've worked with where it seemed all free. And then at the end, it's just like, well, where'd this quantity come from? And you realize that person was being fake.
So literally everything is numbers to you, actually.
Yeah.
So you're not an only child,
Nuh-uh.
but when you were growing up, were you bullied as a kid or were you told something specific or do you think that your autism was there all along and then you like looked for a...
Yeah, I believed, I didn't know what autism was back then, but I believed it was there because of the way that I would be at school, elementary school, have Beanie Babies with me and need some sort of companions to just get me through, how people weren't respecting my different traits.
Most of the things you're describing sound so normal, and I get that yours are like obviously more extreme, but I'm like, there's nothing wrong with a Beanie Baby.
Oh,
Everyone's
yeah.
socially anxious. Like,
Yeah.
but okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, because when you grow up around people and they try to be all, say, hard all the time or just real serious, I feel like a lot of normal people are like that. But like, say, someone like me, it's like you don't have to be 100.00% serious, like with the way you sound, but you can be like serious in your heart and always believe that. But you don't have to let the world know that, oh, this is bothering me, but the average person would be bothered by it.
I hate jumping back and forth, but back to your songs, because all your songs are very happy. None of them are really like, oh, that person fucked me over, and then you're not a drill rap type of like person, thank God. But your songs are all like trying to inspire or provoke happiness.
Yeah, people definitely have to bring that energy out, especially in today's world, because the laziness and the wanting to do the, say, music as just a job, or to just make money off it in a competitive way, it doesn't bring the art and the heart out. Like, you can't have heart without art, so you got to bring it,
Frankie with the bars and the quotes this time instead of Chris. Isn't that something?
I'm going to take a back seat.
We'll plug you again at the end, but where can everyone listen to your music and find your stuff?
So on my YouTube channel, which we'll talk about, I have my music videos featured on there, as well as certain other photographers that have shot my music videos and edited them. I got that. I have stuff on Spotify. I have it on the social platforms.
So just YouTube search Frankie the Lucky Dog.
Yeah, Frankie the Lucky Dog, Frank Calhoun. My stage name that I go with the rapping is Frank Calhoun. I was honored to have the name on November 2nd, 2015 by Baton Rouge rapper Percy Keith, giving me the name from jail because it couldn't put Frankie the Lucky Dog on the letter.
Oh,
yeah.
Shout out to Percy.
Yep, definitely.
Wow.
Because I was just Frankie the Lucky Dog, and then I had a, different way of describing, say, my rapping ability. So I take that as a producer rapper name.
Interesting. I didn't know that, actually.
Do you still talk with Percy?
Yeah, we talks here and there. It's hard to get a hold of certain people nowadays, but definitely I want to collab with him in the future, with, a track I have in mind, just trying to come through trippy with it, but at the same time, high energy in the mind and just bring out the presence of the value.
If you had to pick a famous rapper that you could do a song with, who would it be?
I would say maybe one day it could be this is as famous as I could get on y'all. Boosie Badass.
Okay, all right.
Who's that?
So he used to go by Lil Boosie.
Oh.
So yeah, he changed his name
Wait,
back
he
in
changed his name?
2014. Yeah,
No, wait.
right when he got out of jail.
Really?
Yeah, during that time. Yeah, last decade.
I definitely did not know. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't know anything. What am I talking about?
Whatever. Wait, why him?
Yeah, him, because I feel like there's times that he goes back to Baton Rouge and recaptures that energy. Now that he just entered his 40s not that long ago, now he's depicting that kind of, consistent life, because he'd been, in the game since 2000 of the underground, and it's like bringing that having longevity and, the way of just still admiring the Baton Rouge sound and producers of today.
That's the first time you gave us a year and not a day. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, because I wasn't active during those times with like Louisiana, so you really only know based off of like that's when they dropped their first album.
Oh, so I guess, sorry, I keep jumping. I'm just so interested. So for you then, the date has to correspond with something with you.
Most of the time, yeah. Like, the way that you put that value into that event. Even though sometimes if it's a bad event, the value has to come from the heart.
So even if you looked it up, like the date,
Yeah.
you wouldn't remember it because you have no value in it because you weren't personally like involved.
Yeah, unless it was like, say, a birthday it connects with, but other than that.
So can I ask you,
Yeah.
do you know when hip hop's birthday is?
Not exactly, but I know that born in 1973.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Frankie. Thank you. At least he knows the year.
Wait, how
Don't
do you
pay
know
mind
that?
to her.
Because, 2023, was celebrating 50 years of hip hop.
Oh, that's why he knows, because he can do simple math. Ridiculous. But you don't
Wow.
know anything else, like their birthday.
Yeah, not the concrete
Because he could do
date.
simple math. That's crazy.
I just think it's so crazy that hip hop has a birthday.
Yeah.
Never mind, it's a long
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, everything has a birthday, you heard me.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Depends who's there to acknowledge it. Don't fix your face.
I'm expecting you to talk shit, and the fact that you're not is making me laugh even harder. Oh my god.
All right, so Little Boozy, gotcha. Anybody else besides him? If you had to top three, he's number one, obviously.
Maybe the other one I could think.
What about Wiz Khalifa?
I don't think I'll be collaborating with anybody, like any rapper, unless they from Louisiana these days. I go with like Fredo Bang, and I don't know about a third one right now, but like these ideas come from I know producers that know them, and I've met Fredo Bang before earlier in Louisiana.
Wait, are you talking about a possibility of this happening? Because we're talking about like if you could pick anyone in the world, and you're limiting yourself to just like.
Okay, yeah. Like if I could pick anybody in the world.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, with my condition, yeah, I have to limit it.
No, you can't. This is your dream. This is hypothetically speaking.
There's no limits to your dream, Frankie.
Yeah, no limits.
Like I say, it's just the only one.
What happened to this confidence before, Frankie?
Boosie.
No, who else?
All right, I got one. What about Lil Wayne?
Yeah, even though he from Louisiana too, but he also was kind of my inspiration and my, I guess, motivation to keep focusing on Louisiana, because I wanted to meet him originally.
Really?
Yeah, that was like the first goal. If I talk to someone in New Orleans, then that's my goal. Maybe I'll meet Lil Wayne one day.
But why? Why him?
Because at the time, in 2007, he was on top of his game with nothing but bars, features, mixtapes, etc.
Back in 2007.
The
Yep.
mixtape run. His mixtape run is legendary.
I guess.
Don't mind her, Frankie. She doesn't like Lil Wayne.
No, I don't.
Thank you for clarifying.
So I'm curious if you're comfortable, only if you're comfortable, would you mind spitting us like a quick 16?
Yeah. I could try to tackle it on. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Oh,
let me know.
snap. All right. Do you need a beat or just acapella?
Nah, I'm gonna do it a cappella.
Okay, my man. All right, got his own rhythm. I'm gonna fall back.
I'm not gonna look, so.
All right, I finna take it. Here we go. What's up? What's up? I'm chilling with Alexia. If y'all can't register, then y'all have dyslexia. I'm Frankie the Lucky Dog, and I'm in this bitch to chill. But you already know that I go wind up like I'm on a pill. You heard me? You feel me? You need me? That's what believing. I'm just spitting this shit like there's no tomorrow. You already know. You just keep living without any sorrow. And that's it. No, it ain't. I'm on the next bar. You already know I finna take this shit too far. Traveling, acapellaing, glamorous. You already know I'm better than anybody that choose to disrespect the autisticness. And you already know I bring nothing but that business shit. I come through feeling all shiny in the blue, and I'm about perfect timing. And I keep it going, Chris on the side. You already know he pissed on the ride because he couldn't get here. You already know how it go. Just going from camera to camera like at a show. I don't know how many bars it's been, but we probably got to 16. And you already know. Keep living your dream.
Yes!
I had to just...
Don't be like me, guys, pissing on the ride, all right?
That was completely off the top.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys could tell. I'm seeing him in the camera like that was completely off the top.
Yo, you good? You good? Compose yourself.
Yeah, how to do it off the top of the head, you heard me. Just how to feel 100.00% confident, not backing down from a challenge, That's what you got to bring. You can't be afraid, like you may have social issues like myself, but you just can't be afraid to achieve what you love.
Now, that was crazy because I would not have been able to do that. And remember, Chris, you said that a lot of rappers, most of the time, they have freestyles like in the back of their head and they're all like they wrote it a while ago and then they like figure out when to use it. That was literally off the top of the head right now.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. I mean, because how he broke everything down, the shirt that he's wearing, me being on the side, pissing on the ride. I was all at the top, man. That was crazy. I mean, yeah, like a lot of people can't really do that. So much kudos to you.
Facts.
Yeah.
Like I could do freestyling, but it like comes and goes. It depends on like where my headspace is at and like, just the mood,
Also, keep in mind, like Frankie has Asperger's autism. There are lights and cameras pointed at him, a mic in his face, and that was my first time like asking him, "Do you mind while I'm recording you to drop a 16?" And he was like, "All right."
Yeah.
And then I went for it. I'm like, oh my God. I was low-key expecting him to be like, I can't. I don't have anything right now. And I would have been like, yeah, no problem. But he said that, and I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. It's all about the confidence,
Yeah. Good job,
I like
Frankie.
that. I like how you rhymed Alexia with dyslexia. Because when you said her name, I was like, okay, like, what's he gonna rhyme with that? Not a lot of words rhyme with Alexia, and I was like,
off the top, yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. Okay.
That's funny. I hope we can expect that from your album and your upcoming ones.
Yeah, a lot of those, it definitely deeper thoughts with the lyrics, and being able to break shit down, in the best, more 3D ways possible. You heard me?
That's awesome. That's awesome. So speaking of that, let's keep it on the music now. What do you have coming up?
So coming up, I'm trying to get to that stage of Autistic Stoner Rap Volume 2. I'm trying to bring my side to the production more and still try to feature the Louisiana artists, but at the same time, I want to hear how my trippy production goes because I got to get files, sounds, and even lessons. I got to do some producing lessons, so I'm going to give it a try.
Really? So you're going to make your own beats,
Yeah.
obviously rap, you edit your own stuff,
Yeah.
and you do your music videos.
Yeah. Book the features. I have so many talents. When we went to college, I was graduating as a multimedia master, and you just really take in the media in so many different ways.
That is impressive. And it's a lot of work. I mean, Chris and I are doing
yeah.
that now, and there's 2 of us, and it's still a lot of work. So kudos again. That's
Oh yeah,
amazing.
because I feel it every day.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of work, especially as an independent artist, and I think a lot of people realize that. So one last question I have, since we're on the topic of music, and forgive me if I have said this already earlier in a different way, but what inspires your writing?
So what inspires my writing is a lot of times, like, especially if I'm loaded and nice and high, like I'll be generating ideas, of just the way that I want to either celebrate life or
Are
connect
you
with
high
people.
right now?
Yeah, shit, yeah.
My man, my man said, "Fuck yeah."
I was not expecting that. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so generating ideas, watching your brain work, and wanting to live certain experiences. So I would put that in as future ideas, and then looking back at your past, just being able to utilize those experiences. Got to utilize them up.
I said I was going to stick to music, but that threw me off. What's the difference between like regular Frankie and high Frankie?
So regular Frankie wasn't super communicative and was just like, okay, like,
So the only way for you to be on our podcast today was to get lit.
yeah, because it's just the way that I have to transition from spot to spot these days.
Oh my gosh, I don't mean to laugh.
No, you're good. This is good vibes.
Okay.
My
Yeah,
man said,
yeah.
"I'm gonna be on behind the
I'm
struggle.
laughing because
Let me
I
get
didn't
high as a
expect-
motherfucker."
Yeah, he said the struggle's real. Wait, so are you high like all the time?
Yeah, nowadays, yeah. So but high is different for me than stoned.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
if I would have hit, say, my weed a little stronger and more times, like I hit my vape pen. So if I would have hit it 1 or 2 more times consecutively, the lights would really be like, really getting your eyes all in tune.
That makes sense because there's a difference between being buzzed and drunk. So I guess my listeners already hate me because I know nothing about hip hop and I don't do any drugs. So I've never smoked before, so I didn't realize.
Yeah.
So you're saying stoned is like when you're like,
Yeah, if you just continuously smoke in a socializing setting and then it really vibrates in your head or in your body,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're like almost never sober?
At the times now, no. Like, except for, while I have a consistent work run because you're in a consistent spot.
So you're not going to get sort of immune to this feeling or this?
I don't know if I say immune, and I know earlier we were talking about like, how doctors and stuff try to make people addicted, but at my age and what I've been through, I feel like because I started off a little late, like my first smoking was March 5th, 2009 at 9:59 p.m. outside my house.
We're in Pennsylvania, you guys. It's legal here to smoke weed in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I mean, it's legal in general now. So go ahead, Frankie.
Yeah, so then also on August 16, 2013, I was at the Kings Park building, and that was the first time I got high. And that I was like 12 stories high in the air. I have
High
the
or
footage.
stoned?
That was, stoned, because it was very first. And I took footage of myself, and I was very happy. Because from there, it was like you can really expand your autistic brain and let the people know what you got going on inside.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So when you're high and autistic, do you see like people as literal like numbers? Like in the Matrix when it was like binary and it was. Do you see that?
Yeah, you could see it in a way. The way that you say if you see a person and then you connect their birthday.
What number am I?
What number you? So I say 416.
He didn't even have to think, y'all. He just. What number is Chris?
Chris, see, I ain't never got his. I don't think I ever got.
Oh, but he doesn't like give off a number of vibration or anything.
Oh, a vibration
Or when
number.
you look at him.
Yeah, really, I can't detect the number off him. Yeah.
You're invisible, Chris.
Good.
Yeah.
I got my scrambler on.
No, you're invisible.
That's right. So I like to be behind the scene.
What number are you? Do you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, oh?
Like my favorite number was always 4. I always look at myself as like, like I say 621 because that's my birthday. So I always connect a lot with that the first day of summer.
Hold on, Frankie, hold up.
Yeah.
So your birthday is June 21st?
Yeah.
Guess when his
That's
is.
crazy.
June 22nd.
Nah. It's your numbers flipped.
June
June 12th.
20th.
12.
12? Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
that's pretty
Okay.
crazy. All
Okay.
right. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so now when I go and look at you, I go and be like, all right, oh, there he is. Now I can detect him and, say that, like, he's my birthday, but the last two digits flipped. So you're a 612.
Sharing about your story about you getting high. I remember the first time I got high, personally.
Whoa.
I had crazy anxiety, and I had gotten pulled over by the cops that same night. It was in Wilkes-Barre.
Wait, you had anxiety before or after you got pulled over?
No, I got anxiety while we were getting pulled over.
Well, obviously, everyone. You don't
Yeah.
need to be high to get anxiety to get pulled over by the cops, Chris.
It like amplified it like way more.
Sure, it did.
But when I was in the studio, I was like, I don't know, I was like more productive. Like the two guys I was rapping with at the time, they like basically like just mellowed out like crazy, and I just got more productive. But then like the after effects of it like really like just put me like down. And I was like, nah. I was like,
well, Frankie never comes down. You see, that's the thing.
Yeah, like, because you could separate productivity from laziness. And that's how you combine them. Because, like, when I like to smoke, I be on a lot of hybrid shit, you heard me? Because I have that balanced feeling of sativa energy and then indica, like, couch laxed shit, So, like, I balance when I want to be productive or when I have to work on aiding my lower back and my body.
I forgot about the come off.
what's your favorite type
What?
of weed? What's your favorite type of weed?
I really just don't mind anything. Like, I like the smell of great, or taste and, like, things like that. But, like, I don't really have a pick.
Look, I'm not gonna front. I don't know much about weed. I was just curious because for our listeners.
I was just gonna say, if I was getting interviewed and I would be the worst CIA agent, because I would be like, "What's your favorite type of weed?" I'd be like, "The green one." Why are you laughing away from the mic, bro?
Because it's such an innocent response. Like, I don't know, the green one.
That's what I was saying.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Wait, so I forgot about the come off. So do you not come down because you're afraid of it there, or you just never ever want to be unproductive?
I just it's not really much of a productivity requirement. It's just more to transition, say, the certain energy I took in over a period of time.
But do you think you can't function as a regular human without being high anymore?
I could function as a regular human, but in today's world with, say, the way that the quality is of, say, life, moments, music, etc., like, when I'm high, I could latch onto those things more as a 35-year-old than a youngin'. When a youngin', I was just really latching on like it was nothing.
So you just don't want to miss anything. You want to stay high all the time so that in case something miraculous happens, you're there to enjoy it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Wow.
That's crazy. Are you... What? Yeah, that's crazy to me. I think it's funny when I'm like, wait, are you high right now? He's like, shit, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, are you high all the time? Fuck yeah.
Are you high right now? Yeah.
Well, Frankie, we really appreciate you, being on this podcast with us. Do you have any questions that you want to ask us about anything?
As far as you guys, I don't know if I have a question, but like I always like to inspire to give my energy to others. I don't have to really say stuff. You just see how I act or whatever. So I always advise people to just stay 100.00% as far as energy, as far as motivation, not to give up on your dreams. And you really do believe that the bigger and better is here, because I am definitely feeling it in my times.
This is also why I really wanted to have a video for this actual podcast. I told you guys that I wanted to start doing videos regardless, but this was definitely one. Even though we're not fully prepared, I definitely wanted you guys to see and hear Frankie.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, because the experiences coming from Marywood, they really built me today. I admire those times because this is how I inspire the younger generations and things like that, even though we are still youngins. That's why I have the hat from those times right now, because I just feel like it's all about the good luck and the good vibes and just keeping that as a legacy. I have my laptop that I added on, when I was at Marriott. July 10th, 2009, I got it, and I'm still using it. Final Cut.
Oh yeah, I remember Final Cut. Well, I hope that this day was also emotionally memorable for you, Frank.
My Frank Calhoun name turning 8 years old, so this is how we live up November.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so why don't you tell our listeners where they can find your stuff officially and follow you and all that good stuff.
All right, so Frank Calhoun, the stage name. I got the album Autistic Stoner Rap Volume 1, A Trip to BR, out now. All 19 of 19 tracks have music videos to them, so peep them out. You could peep them out on my YouTube channel. It's Lucky Dogs Entertainment, LuckyDogZentertainment or MENT. It's big entertainment. And then I'm on Instagram at Frank Calhoun, FrankCalhoune, and also just Frankie the Lucky Dog, my stage name. You could see some of the stuff I've done in the past. That's FrankieThaLuckyDog, which on November 4th, the name going to turn 21 years old. November 4th, 2002, I came up with Frankie the Lucky Dog.
Hold on, wait. I have a question because that was a great segue right there. How'd you come up with the name Lucky Dog?
So Frankie the Lucky Dog, back on November 4th, 2002, at age 14, I was on message boards for the first time, and I needed to come up with something. So Frankie being my nickname, the THA being an urban way of spelling the that I like, Lucky because I'm always lucky with scratch-off lottery tickets, gambling, etc. And then the dog, my favorite animal, but also at the time was my favorite saying when people would be like, "What up, dog?"
Oh yeah, we didn't even touch on that. Frankie is extremely lucky with scratch-offs.
Yeah, July 28th, 2002. He's still 14 years old. It was the first day I found a $6 winner. And I had gone to find probably at least $1,000 worth of tickets, throughout my years. And
he said found.
Yeah,
he didn't
found.
win or buy them. He found them. That's crazy.
And I've elevated my luck to, gambling certain ways with a budget at the casino, which I'll show you after this. I have free play that I use. And this month in November, 2 times I got to use $135. 2 times is mystery free play. And then I have also every Friday this month of November, I think it's $185 or something like that dollars in free play every Friday.
What kind of gambling games do you do?
So I usually play the slots. And,
okay, so you're not counting no cards.
Nuh-uh, only because it's a little intense in the moment and shit. You gotta have a strategy and you gotta have patience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good with numbers, doesn't count cards. Man of the year.
If I ever go to a casino, Frankie, I'm calling you, having you come with me. If I ever buy lottery tickets, having you come with me too. I'm gonna have you buy them for me. Just have the extra luck. But no, we really appreciate you having you here with us, Frankie. You definitely spoke about keeping it young, and I totally agree with that. We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, because you got to have that in you, because that's the times I admire, and those times I never wanted to let go. So, by not letting, say, the hack go, or Alexia, or, things like that, you just build and expand what you can offer to the world now.
That's so awesome. Well, guys, thank you for listening to another episode of Behind the Struggle. Please be sure to follow Frankie on YouTube, Instagram, and listen to his music. Do not forget to follow Chris and I as well. Chris and me, grammar, hello.
Yeah.
At thisisceo.com. You can find all of our stuff there, including my email. You can reach out to me there. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok at Asexia. My Instagram is at Lexia_Lou. And stay tuned for more podcasts on Behind the Struggle. We've got interviews and interesting interesting topics to discuss.
We'll see you guys on the next one. Frankie, much love. Everyone else, peace.
Thank you
Most
again, Frankie.
definitely.
Have a great night, you guys.
Stay 100.00%.
Bye.